Now, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce a friend, Raymond Thomas. Raymond has more than 37 years of leadership and consulting experience across multinational corporations, entrepreneurial ventures, and academic institutions in the Asia Pacific and the United Nations. He has held key leadership roles, gaining expertise in building and guiding high performance performing cross cultural teams. Raymond designs and facilitates practical leadership boot camps for emerging and senior leaders and helps organizations implement culture footprints and high potential talent pipelines. His approach blends hands-on learning with tools such as emergenetics and the workplace Big Five to foster self-awareness, adaptability, and results-driven leaders. He is passionate about aligning leadership, culture, and strategy to create lasting organizational impact. Over to you, Raymond.
Thank you so much, Jess, for that amazing introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like a David among Goliaths, right? I mean, some of these names that you have just heard from Annie Chan, Matthias, and also Jazz, and you're going to be hearing from Su Yan in a little while more. And I'm sure you guys are learning because I'm learning about how thumbprint profiling can be something that's really helpful to us. I'm learning about a new term, luxury thinking. I'm learning about elevating resilience. And what I'm going to be sharing goes back to the basics, but it pulls a thread right through all these topics that we are going to be talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Raymond Thomas, and today, what I'd like to do in this next 15 minutes is to take you on a journey, where you can develop courage, you can develop compassion, and you can develop collaboration in terms of your leadership skills. So we're going to talk about being bold, being kind, and being connected, which I feel, as I work with many clients, that these are increasingly becoming really important skills, especially among leaders. So one of the things I'm going to be asking you to do is please do try to engage in this presentation. For instance, if you have questions, please do drop them into the chat box. And I invite you to amuse me and also participate in some of the questions that I have for you. I wanted to start off by sharing the first slide here with you, right? So what you see in front of you guys is a tree with blobs on them. And I wanted to take this through some kind of an introduction for you. So my question for you, if you could jump into the chat box and share with me, which one of these blobs do you resonate with as a leader? Take a few minutes and jump into the chat box and please share with me. Great. Thanks, Rose. I got leading coming in. Oh, I see a lot of, oh, sorry, that was the previous one. Chat says 15, right? So have a look at what chat is saying. That's great. Hilmi says 11. Thank you very much. Love to hear what the rest are saying. I see SC saying 2. Matthias, what's yours? Annie, what's yours? And Jazz, what's yours? Love to find out your perspective in terms of where you see yourself as a leader on that tree. Thanks, Matthias. Matthias is going 18. Jazz is going 15. And is there anyone else? Yes, Annie, thank you so much. I just, and yeah, thanks a lot, Yokling and Matthias. Matthias sees himself between 17 and 18. And I just wanted to share with you guys, there's a huge research that has been done on this. right? And each one of these blobs take on a different profile, has a leader. And if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about this, I'm going to give you a QR code right at the end, or you could just email me, drop me a note in the chat box, and then I will share that research with you guys itself. Now, whichever leader you are, I think one of the things that I wanted to bring out for you guys to take note of is this. Leadership is challenging. Leadership is not a straightforward practice because no leader or team member is perfect, right? Effective leadership is not about flawlessness, but about humility. It's about authenticity and about growth, while leaders navigate challenges with accountability and empathy. If you get a chance, guys, take note of Anne Morris. Go watch her TEDx. And she talks about the fact that leadership is a practice. It's a practice of imperfect humans leading imperfect humans. That's one of the reasons why leadership can be really challenging. Now, in a separate research conducted by Goffey and Gareth, and they wrote the book, it's still in my mind, it's called Why Should Anyone Be Led by You? That's the title of the book. There's also an HBR article. They researched and discovered that effective leadership stems from being authentic and demonstrating unique set of strengths rather than conforming to a universal list of traits. That's correct. So rather than conforming to what people are saying, oh, you got to be this, you got to be that, it's about bringing out your strengths and your traits, which is what plays the key role when you are a leader. Why are we doing this? Why am I talking about leadership? And why do I say leadership is so important? Apart from the fact that leadership is a practice of imperfect humans, I think we also need to acknowledge some of the pointers that Jess has brought out, Matthias has brought out, and even Annie has brought out, right? Why future-ready leadership matters. And it matters. It's not just because we have got all these technology that we are overwhelmed with. It's not just because our corporate leaders want us to run towards AI, but it's just basically about adapting to all the change that we are experiencing. Future leaders, they need to evolve. All right, because we are in a space where workplace is evolving. The traditional leadership models, I feel, are lacking sufficiency. Okay, as leaders, we need to think about what else can we do. So the pace of change in both workplace dynamics and business environment demands what I call a new kind of leader. A leader who can influence change, a leader who can solve problems, and a leader who can empower people. And this is where it's always important to take note, guys. You're right. AI is a big thing. AI is going to enable future organizations. But I think it's always important for us to continue to recognize the fact that human-centered strategies continue to prevail in any of the things that a leader does. So future-ready leadership is about evolving, it's about not just evolving competencies and capabilities, but it's also getting us to look at what our core skills are and how do we leverage on some of these core skills so that we can continue to thrive in these organizations as leaders and to bring people along. So I founded Enible together with Sanjay, who's in this room today, back 8 years ago. And when we first came together, we had that common mindset that what we wanted to do is we wanted to enable future-ready leaders. And that's basically what we had in mind. And that's what we do today. We create journeys, we create expeditions for leaders in organization, and we bring them through that journey so that they experience and they understand and they talk to each other and they discover these leadership qualities, not just by themselves, but by having these important conversations with their team members. I want to share with you 3 core traits of future-ready leaders. Let's look at what these 3 core traits are. The first one that I want to talk about is I want to talk about the bold leader. All right. I think there's some boldness in many of us here who are speaking. And I highly, highly encourage you guys to continue looking at that. Bold leaders are characterized by their willingness to challenge the status quo, take calculated risks, and drive innovation within the organization, right? Status quo is no longer accepted. It's about trying to find new ways. It's about design thinking ways in terms of how we reach out there and look at doing different things. Leaders of the future are not afraid to disrupt existing systems if it means achieving greater success and also impact. Now, these leaders continue to inspire others by showing that boldness can lead to a meaningful change and business growth. It's also about encouraging boldness in leadership, right? Which involves fostering a culture where experimentation is valued and failure is seen as a learning opportunity. Now, by embracing boldness, leaders can continue to navigate uncertainty, ambiguity, and to lead their teams with confidence and also with purpose. I want to move on to the second one. The second one is the kind leader, right? So one of the things I talked about, it's not just someone who is focused on tactical approach, but it's also leading with the heart. Kindness is a leadership which is often misunderstood as weakness. But it's actually, ladies and gentlemen, a really powerful tool for building trust and fostering high-value rapport and relationships. Now, kind leaders lead with empathy, with resilience, with active listening in their teams, and they continue to create environments where people feel valued, people feel supported. And these are all important elements in a leader. By showing genuine care and concern to people, I feel kind leaders cultivate loyalty, cultivate motivation among their teams. So this approach not only improves workplace morale, but also contributes to long-term organizational success. Our leaders can also demonstrate kindness through small acts of appreciation, transparent communication, and commitment to personal and professional development with their team members. And this is also one of the areas that we look at in our learning journeys. The first one, how do leaders continue to be bold? The second part, how do they bring out that softer element, that core element of working with their teams? The third type of leader that we talk about is the connected leader. And this is also another important component for leaders. It's not just how courageous and how bold you are. It's not just how kind you are, how empathetic you are, but your ability to connect with networks, your ability to connect with systems within the organization and also outside the organizations. So connected leaders are those who understand broader business and trends which impact the organization, both internally and also externally. Leaders build bridges across teams, across functional groups, fostering collaboration and also a shared purpose. Now, leaders are also adept at creating some of these networks. It's not just participating in networks. It's not just putting themselves in networks. It's about creating networks, networks of support, networks of influence, and enabling them to drive change and innovation effectively. I feel that by staying informed and maintaining these strong relationships, connected leaders ensure that their organizations continue to remain agile and responsive to emerging challenges. The leader's ability to connect with others on a personal and a professional level makes them invaluable in navigating complex business landscapes. In one simulation activity that we use with our clients, we talk about how do leaders connect as not just colleagues in the organization, but how do they connect as friends? Because these continue to have big value for leaders within the organization. Okay, thank you. I'm just looking at the time, guys. So I just want to go in and talk a little bit about skills and lessons for future-ready leaders. Here are a couple of pointers that I just wanted to put out there. Here are the essential skills. If you want to be a future-ready leader, all right, so I'm talking about future-ready leader. So future-ready leaders must possess a diverse set of skills, being adaptable, continue to have emotional intelligence, continue to apply strategic thinking skills, and continuing to have the courage to lead change. These are some of the skills for future-ready leaders that need to be kept in place. Another comment that I want to also put out there are some lessons, right? Just to put this out there, lessons that you can actually learn in terms of leadership, right? So how do you lead through real examples? How do you transform some of these learning experiences that you gain within the process? And I always believe that leaders need to prototype things as they lead their teams towards becoming better individuals. I want to leave you guys with this little quote. Leadership is less about directing others, and it's more about holding space for possibility. It is also about being grounded enough to see the whole system and yet remain compassionate enough to care for the smallest part. As my time has come to an end, I just wanted to leave you with these final thoughts. And that is, let me maybe leave you with a quote, and I'm sure you can read these thoughts. One powerful quote by Barack Obama encapsulates the essence of effective leadership. Leadership is all about building relationships, understanding people, and continuing to inspire them to be their best. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to connect with us, please do connect with us via that QR code. And always remember, develop courageous, compassionate, comparative, and collaborative leadership skills. Thank you so much, guys.